started in September of 2018 when I was in Maine and had an unplanned meeting with the daughter-in-law of Mr. Worcester, who is the founder of Wreaths Across America. In a few minutes, our formal ceremony will start. The numbers for this year's Wreaths Across America are in. In a few minutes, when we start our formal ceremony, at the exact same time, 2,158 participating locations across the country and 2.2 million veterans will be honored. We all should be proud for participating. There are so many people to thank. Beth Brannick and Linda and Paul Stegeter. They were my support. The people who attended our fundraiser, gave donations, and those of you here today to lay the wreaths, our speakers and guests, all got us to the finish line. We also have to thank Craig Flagler Palms for inviting us into their lovely cemetery and also for placing American flags on all veterans' graves to make it easier for us to identify the veterans' graves when we place the wreaths. We are all here to honor and remember our veterans who are no longer with us, and to make sure all veterans know they will never be forgotten. Thanks to all of you for being here, and I just don't know what to say. This is like a dream come true. Thank you so much.
Good morning, and thank you for attending the first annual, very solemn ceremony in Flagler County on behalf of Wreaths Across America. My name is Major Ron Young. I spent 28 years in law enforcement in New York. I am a former volunteer firefighter from Port Washington on Long Island, and I am a two-tour Southeast Asia veteran. Before I go any further, I know there's a lot of brothers and maybe a couple of my sisters from Vietnam in this audience this morning. If you remember ArcLight, that was the B-52 bombing missions in Southeast Asia during the war. And at this point, I just want to say, guys and girls, if we got too close to you at the time, we'd probably save your butts more than once. And I would do it again. I am not a politician, nor am I politically correct. My comments here today come directly from my heart. And I promise I will be brief. It is with distinct honor that the service today is dedicated to the memory of Navy veteran Dennis Healy, a man who truly loved this country, as I'm sure all of us do. Veterans contribute to the society in many ways, not just during their time on active duty. Throughout our military history, service members have put on their uniforms to protect the values and liberties that this nation was built on. That doesn't stop once the uniform comes off. Active duty has ended. Veterans take lessons that they have learned and the experiences that they have gained and continue their service to our great nation. Our military is not the reporter that has given us freedom of speech. It is our military, not the politicians, that ensure our right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It is our military who salutes our flag, serves beneath the flag, and whose casket is draped in the flag. And this day is one way to remember those in the military who defended our country. In a few minutes, over 1.8 million wreaths will be placed on graves of America's heroes that have gone before us. I must touch on this. People in America know the story of 9/11. What's really not known or understood are the challenges facing so many first responders to this day, including myself. Lung health, cancer, post-traumatic stress. Everyone who responded acted with love, courage, honor, valor, just like our military and our vets do today, 24/7. The health issues and statistics are staggering, horrifying, very ugly, and they grow daily. We must never forget their sacrifice, never forget our veterans, never forget 9/11, never forget our heroes past and present. And I want to add this. The Navy SEALs have a motto that they live and die by. And I quote, I'd like you to think about this. The only easy day was yesterday. Since that day in September, I have added to that quote, and it's very short and it's very simple. There's no guarantee on tomorrow. You make today count and mean something. Thank you for being here today. God bless all of you. God bless America. And as I said at the beginning, I'm not politically correct. I'm born and bred in New York and damn proud of it. It's okay to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And I say that to you from here. I've worked a few hours with Jan. She's a great person. And you have to come up here. Beth, can you present that on behalf of everybody that worked on this? We worked hard. And again, thank you for being here today. Hopefully next year it'll double in size. Like I said, God bless America. God bless every one of you guys and gals that served. Forward march. I am going to ask some of my friends from the Punishers Motorcycle Club. The majority of them are law enforcement, active duty, and retired. They will bring the first wreath forward to the American flag, and we will then continue the ceremony. Thank you, gentlemen. I just noticed something. There's a gentleman here from World War II. Thank you. He's also one of the presenters.
Again, thank you all for being here. It's really important that this ceremony has grown larger and larger throughout the United States now, and it's wonderful we're doing it here in Palm Coast. I'm Dave Sullivan. I'm the chairman of the board for the county commission these days, but today that's not my assignment. I'm not going to consider myself a politician right now. I did 28 years of active service in the Navy, retired as a Navy captain. I have a son who followed me with another 22 years of commissioned service. So in my family, and my father was a 90-day wonder in World War I. So I'm a true veteran, and I'm happy, very happy to be here today. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a minute of silence to remember the fallen, the prisoners of war, the missing in action, and honor those who have served and are serving this great nation's armed services. And now, if we'll all face the flag, which is right back me up here to the left, and we'll start the pledge. One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Next. So, we are gathered here today at this memorial site and memorial sites all across America to remember that we are one nation with one flag. We are all proud to be Americans that live in a free society made of many people, many races, and from many walks of life. The freedoms we enjoy today have not come without a price. Laying before us and in cemeteries throughout this nation are men and women who gave their lives so that we can live in freedom and without fear. We travel from one end of this great nation to the other and not have to ask permission to go. We are free to vote for whomever we feel should be in government office, and we answer to no one but our own feelings. We have the right to succeed, and we have the right to fail at whatever endeavor we wish to pursue. The United States of America was founded on the ideals of freedom, justice, and equality. Our nation stands as a shining beacon of liberty and freedom to the world. We thank those who gave their lives to keep us free and shall not forget you. We shall remember. Just give me a second here to get things straight. Our nation to fight and protect the innocent and oppressed. America has always been the first nation to stand up for the freedom of people from around the world. Many of you here today have answered the call and served your country well. We are here today to say thank you, and we are honored to know you. There are many men and women serving today in all branches of the military, here at home and places far away that most of us have never heard of. These men and women are part of the best trained, best equipped force in the world. We honor them and their families for the sacrifices they make each day to keep our country safe from terrorism, hatred, and injustice that plague the world community. When you see a veteran or an active duty member of the armed services, take a moment to say thank you. We owe them our way of life, and a moment of your time is well spent. Quoting the 40th United States President, Ronald Reagan, quote, "Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought and protected, and handed on for them to do the same. Or one day we will spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it was once like in the United States where men were free," end quote. Now, will Lene Booth please be escorted by the Knights of Inferno and lay a remembrance wreath for the United States Army. And now, Bud Tanis will lay a remembrance wreath in memory of those who served and are serving in the United States Marine Corps. Now, Frank Fonte, and before Frank comes up, he is our World War II vet. He was there maintaining our freedom. So thank you very much, Frank, and he'll be escorted up to present the flag from the United States Navy. And the Punishers are escorting Frank up, which is very nice. Arms, quarter, arms. We should all be aware of our World War II veterans are quickly going away, so having one here today is a real honor. Thank you. Paul Segurda will come forward. Remembrance wreath in memory of those who served and are serving in the United States Air Force. Thank you, Paul. And now Bill Loyster, remembrance wreath in memory of those who served and who are serving in the United States Coast Guard. Please come forward. The wreaths before you represent our commitment as the United States of America to remember the fallen. We also want these remembrance wreaths to symbolize our honor to those who have served and are serving in the armed forces of our great nation. And of course, and to their families who endure sacrifices every day on our behalf. To our children, we want you to understand the freedoms you enjoy today and have not been free, but have come with a cost that someday you may have to pay yourself. As a nation standing together, we can defeat terrorism, hatred, and injustice. Thanks to our veterans, we have the freedom to do just that. So again, wait till after the music, but please, when laying the wreath, say the veteran's name aloud. Remember that, so when you're putting the wreath on the headstone, say the veteran's name that appears on the headstone aloud, and place the bow of the wreath at 12 o'clock on the clock. So. we'll have Chaplain Harry Gilman, please.
Let's take just a moment for our prayer. We thank you, mighty God, for the precious gift of life. And we ask your presence with us here today. We've gathered to honor members of our veterans family who have gone to live in your presence. We thank you for all the men and women throughout our history, including to this day, who raise their hand in the presence of a flag. They make a promise, and they are honorable men and women who serve well. Today, as we place the wreaths at each veteran's grave, we're thankful that that is only the resting place of the body, but the real person continues to live. Grant that we might also honor them, not just in the laying of a wreath, but in the kind of people we choose to be, in the kind of citizens who continue to make this a great nation that we want you to continue to bless. Thank you, mighty God, that many of us are also privileged to be part of the veteran family. Thank you for this day and for this opportunity. We pray in your holy name. Amen.
Important to note that Johnny is also a World War II vet.